Okay, that's the Deputy President William Ruto speaking as a response to the claims made by the elected leaders from the Rift Valley. Now let's say good morning to our guests. On my immediate right is Ben Kinuthia, a lawyer and political commentator. Karen Diaz and Stephen Woko are political commentators in the country. Gentlemen, asanteni sana. Thank you so much for making time this Monday morning. Well, thank you. The kick-starting point has been, I just want to track down this conversation. It's not this, the starting point is not the expression of the statements made by the elected leaders, Joshua Kutunya, Alfred Kater, and Silas Trian. But equally, this is scandal-ridden ministry in which the president cautioned the minister he appointed to lead the docket twice in public, at the SK show in Nairobi and at the Buhungu Stadium in Kakamega County. Will the calling of the investigations upon the Deputy President's office and the DP himself open up new political battlefronts? I'll start with you, Ben Kinuthia. And are we likely to be having a success script about this entire mess at the Ministry of Agriculture at the moment?
Good morning. It's nice to be here on a Monday morning. I think it's got nothing to do with politics. Waswahili wanasema, where there is smoke, there is fire. Where there is smoke, there is fire. So when you see the leaders from Nandi and the whole of the Rift Valley coming and saying they have a problem with the way the maize scandal has been handled, and when you see them directly pointing at the Deputy President and accusing him of being behind what is happening in the maize scandal, it's a direct reflection of what the voters themselves are feeling. And it is the voters who are calling on these leaders and telling them, we elected you, Keter. We elected you, Kutuni. And if you don't speak on our behalf, we shall get leaders who will speak on our behalf. So it's upon the Deputy President now to come out clean and say, I have not stolen money in the maize scandal. I am not involved in the maize scandal. It's for him to come and clean out his name. It's not for him to start coming. You know, sometimes when we talk about maize, it's very unfortunate. People come and say that we want the looters of maize to be arrested. And then the Deputy President's handlers come and say that you are attacking his political ambition for 2022. These are two totally not connected issues. Our people are saying, pay us for the maize we have supplied. We are not asking for any favor. They have farmed, they have worked on their land, they deserve to be paid for their maize. And then somebody in reply to that comes and says, you are trying to fight us for 2022. What's the connection between the two?
We'll come to the political nitty-gritties of it and the consequences it's likely to have with regards to the Rift Valley bulk and the vote-rich region. But coming to you at the center, Karen Diaz, I mean, what Joshua Kutunya yesterday said is that he called upon the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to come clean on the reason for the Deputy President visit in the Democratic Republic of Congo in September with a large number of delegation in which he reportedly has signed deals with the President of the Republic of Congo, that Democratic Republic of Congo, Joseph Kabila. And it speaks a lot, isn't it, when members of parliament who know the terrain and the political landscape of your region come out to say that you have hoodwinked our farmers to practice other farming practices, and now you want to import maize into the country. Literally, we're speaking about an ailing sector, an ailing docket, an ailing Ministry of Agriculture. I mean, knowing that it's the backbone of the economy, how well does the government need to change the discourse around the entire ministry and change this forever? Because we not only are not witnessing the maize scandal, but also the sugar industries in the country are crippling.
Good morning, viewers, and thank you for that good question, Ayub. I think, to be honest, as Kenyans, the issue here is there's a lot of appetite for money that comes easy, and the political class have decided that they should target the very hardworking farmers from maize and sugar. What is appalling is the fact that there is the policy makers, those who are supposed to influence policy that would improve this sector, are the ones who have decided to do everything and invest in negative energy that has destroyed this very, very, very viable sector. As to what the government can do to influence positive outcomes in the maize sector, maybe my take would be just prosecute corruption in this industry, because the maize farming is very labor intensive. It is not a joke to harvest some maize, even if it's an acre. It's very, very labor intensive, but it's very unfortunate that people are patiently working very hard to grow this produce, and then some people take advantage of it. What is most, apart from what the MPs are saying, the sad news is that the Minister for Agriculture announced to us last week that the maize that was imported from, that was around 15 million bags, and is stored at the National Cereals and Produce Board, all that maize is bad, is unfit for human consumption, and KEBS has confirmed this. Then there was a report yesterday that somebody somewhere is trying to doctor the KEBS report so that this maize finds its way back to the market. The saddest part is that those who have brought this bad maize have been paid in cash, while the genuine farmers who delivered their maize before this import was done have not been paid. Then one asks, if there was a shortfall of 4 million bags, why import 15 million? And who is this who was paid 2.1 billion that was supposed to have gone to farmers? And now we have to double pay again, because now we have to pay the genuine farmers. And the audit already of genuine farmers is being done. And the other question that you may ask yourself is, why audit genuine farmers? And yet there was a list of those farmers who supplied. So there's a lot of rot in this industry, and it's not a small person. It is not a sports person. And we can see that in the executive, the anger that the farmers, Kenyan farmers, have not been paid is only being bared by the president. The minister doesn't look to be that angered, and the deputy president doesn't look to be that angered. So for me, as an independent observer, I think that is where the main suspects of all these scandals are. I don't think you can look any further, because there's no way a small person can walk into National Cereals and Produce Board
and do all the dealings that we are saying.
It must be somebody big who can influence police to look aside when this maize is being brought into the country, who can also ask KRA to look aside, also ask the KEBS to look aside, and then this maize comes in and they facilitate the payments very quickly.
Stephen Woko, I'll come to you on this. When the farmers expressed their concerns in front of the Senate, which for the first time sat in Eldoret in Uasin Gishu County historically, they presented their grievances and were heard by the senators. But it appears that the leadership at the helm of the ministry is not concerned much about these problems that affect the farmers, because they are hardworking. They took their produce to the NCPB, but the payback has not been, of so much intense significance. But equally, the president also was attracted by that, and he spoke twice in public and warned the minister during the Mashujaa Day celebrations in Kakamega County. Is this a ministry that is self-incapacitating itself? Because we certainly are not short of laws, excuse me, but it definitely appears that Mwangi Kiunjuri is not willing to address the mess at the NCPB.
Let me put it very clear that it is not only the maize industry. All the other sectors of agriculture are suffering. We had the cotton, the coffee now is a problem. Every year there is always writing off the debts of coffee. And then now the sugar industry. The only one that was still afloat was the maize industry. And now the fish industry is also doing the same thing. All the pyrethrum and the rice, all those have gone under. Now what is happening is that if you want to make big money, then you go to where food is produced, because Kenya is a consuming nation. So what has been done, that they wrote in the Ministry of Agriculture, we cannot assume that the president and the deputy did not know about it. But what we are doing, if you look at the bigger picture, we are talking about the corruption, and you look at the bigger picture, when the corruption started, it has been politicized. So what is happening now, in the government of Jubilee, we had government A and government B. That means the URP and the TNA. Now, what has been happening now, that what is happening, they want to put the DP under siege. Say now, okay, fine, this is what happened, and the people, your people or your team are the one who did the maize scandal. Now, this is what I'm saying, you are responsible. But we had that before Kiunjuri came. The person who was manning the ministry was from the DP's side. Willibet. And even now, Kiunjuri says that the problem that I'm facing is what I found. It don't happen under my watch. And the president is under his neck to make sure that he unveils who is doing what and who did not do. So the whole thing is now, the time has come when now they're pushing Ruto, all the corruption cases in the Maize and the others, under his feet, Yakwamba, you are responsible. So to me, the mess has been there, but it's more of a politics.
Okay, I mean, you're reading a political script here that this is perhaps a push to distract politically the deputy president.
That's right.
Okay, now when you say that Willibet has been the minister under whose watch all this misgivings happen at the Ministry of Agriculture, is he not Kenyan? Is he not responsible? Where is the integrity in that? Because when you are appointed, you do not certainly represent a certain region, but you have a responsibility constitutionally to take over that docket and roll out the services as per the laid down structures of that respective ministry. Has Willibet failed, and so is, and does Mwangi Kijuri appear to be taking the same path, because he also under his watch unscrupulous traders were paid billions amounting to profits instead of the genuine farmers who provided their produce to the NCPB? You
must remember that when we promulgated the Constitution, especially when we started, we thought we were going to do Chapter 6 of the Constitution. You remember the former Deputy CJ, Nancy, was sent packing simply because he pinched somebody's nose. But now, when the court came and said that anybody who has a criminal record, somebody was done, can contest, then we threw the whole thing to the dogs. So what is happening now? That the whole system, the entire system, all the ministry of the corruption is there. So it's not only the Maize scandal. So the whole thing now, the corruption has been there. But because we are politicizing it, we want to push the DP that now it is you who is responsible. It is your side that is responsible. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. And you said that the court also allowed people who had crimes to contest for the respective elective positions. Who, to be specific?
What happened when we went to court? We had people who were facing charges.
Among them who?
Among them, the president and the deputy. We had the governor of Nairobi and so many, the governor of Kiambu and the likes. They were facing some charges.
Okay.
But what happened when the court said that because you have not been convicted, and even if you are convicted, you have not explored all the avenues of appeal, you can contest. Okay. So from there on, we threw the whole integrity into out of the window. Okay. So what is happening now? From there, from the time the Jubilee came into government, there have been corruption in all the ministries, from the Minister of Health, the Minister of Education. So the corruption has been there. But now, because there's a what succession politics, and what is happening, they want to push and say, you are corrupt.
Okay, hold it there. We'll come back to you on the further explanation.